In this episode, Mod of the Year winners announced, MX Simulator, Logitech Momo reviewed, and top sim cars. This show is sponsored by Sim Raceway. Welcome to Inside Sim Racing. I'm your host, Jessica Lopez.
And I'm Sean Cole.
And we're excited to be hosting the Mod of the Year Awards this year. It's their third installment, and we've reported on it the last 2 years.
That's right.
This is the first year we'll actually be hosting it. And from the Mod of the Year Awards, we've taken 2 cars, and they're in our top simulation cars of all time.
That's right. We looked at a few of the contestants or the cars running in that Mod of the Year Awards, and we picked 2, the Toyota AE86, or the Toyota Corolla, and we also picked the FS1 Renault, or the ING car, some people might know it as, and we put those both on top sim cars for today's show.
And we're going to start off with that segment and see how those 2 cars hold up against the rest of the cars in top simulation cars of all time, which is sponsored by SimRaceway.com.
Home of the one-click install.
All right, here we are with number 12, top sim cars of all time.
Yeah.
And we've got the AE86, which is a Toyota Corolla.
Yeah.
A bunch of different names.
The
for
Sprinter, the Truno, the one that started with an L.
I didn't write it down.
A lot of names for that car.
There's a lot of different names. Cool little car.
Yeah.
And then we have the FS1 mod, 2008, which is basically the Formula One series.
Yeah.
And we're going to use the Renault ING.
The
ING car, driven by Nelson Piquet Jr.
Right.
And
Alonso.
I had to go check that again.
I submitted that one to memory.
Yeah. So, anyway, those 2 cars, we're going to start with the FS1 car.
Yeah, and both of these cars are in the running for Mod of the Year.
Yep, they both are. They were both at the top of the list.
Yeah.
And we're not going to give away who won, but because actually we don't know at this particular moment in time.
We will shortly.
We will shortly,
though. Those envelopes get open.
Yep. And
so let's get to it.
Oh, Jessica, wait till you guys see Jessica in her dress. So, okay, so timer, let's go. Minute and a half, we rolling?
Yeah.
Alrighty. So again, Renault, driven by Alonso and Nelson Piquet Jr. I love this car.
Yeah, the guys at IPM did a great job. Mod for R Factor.
InternationalPro-modding.com. You want to go check out their website. They're working on the new version, the 2009, which is actually last year's cars.
Yeah, they did pretty much every year so far.
2006, 7, 8, and now 9 they're working on. This, in my opinion, is the best feeling. It's been a while since I've driven CTDP, so I can't really comment on that one in comparison, but compared to the F1, the MMG car that we just did, I like this car better personally.
Yeah, the physics are real good. The sounds are really good. My favorite thing with sounds is the backfiring noise when you downshift.
Yeah.
When I'm watching Formula One, that's the sound that's most distinct to me.
Yep, it's amazing. I do like the Cockpit better than the MMG versus this one. This one was didn't wow me like the MMG Cockpit.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as immersive when you're sitting into that cockpit. The MMG really, really made you feel like you were in the car.
It did. One of the cool things features all the different tires that you could put on.
Yeah.
The different textures of tires, which all made a difference, from slicks, rain tires, all sorts of stuff.
The other thing, we went on to talk about force feedback over and over and over with this car. You know, R Factor is not state-of-the-art with force feedback in general, but this car,
amazing.
Yeah, driving at Easter Creek, every bump you felt. I mean, give you some of the scores in physics. It got an 18. In sounds, it got a 13.8. In force feedback, it got a 9.25.
Lap times at Eastern Creek, where I ran a 1:10.8. Sean ran like a 1:11, so it's smoking fast.
It is fast.
Especially compared to that AE86 that we drove.
That we'll be coming to next. Anyway, overall score, 89.5.
Right there at the top.
Yeah, that puts it actually
Number
second.
2. Yep, so, just beat out the Dallara IndyCar, but man, it is, if you guys haven't tried that FS1 mod, we haven't tried the other cars, I just drove the ING car. Amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, and when you're looking at those scores, also the skins, I mean, this is one of those ones, it was an entire mod. I mean, the whole slew of cars, Ferrari, McLaren, and the car we did here. So we only judged, the skins were for the whole car set, not just that model.
Yep. So Great score there. Next
Yeah.
up, AE86. Again, the Toyota Corolla. A ton of different names for it.
List over there.
You have some specs on that puppy, don't you?
Not in front of me here. I mean, I know it was made all over the Europe. I know that they had the only difference between the European and the American version was the flip-up headlights versus the flat headlights. Other than that, it's the identical car. It came with.
Are we rolling time?
Yeah, we're
we are rolling. So anyway, yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Sean.
And again, anybody who's an old school race car fan or drifting, you know this car. You know
This thing is made for drifting, man. This thing is loose out of the gates. And
one of the things that's unique about it, it's a small car that's rear-wheel drive.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it has such a great following. It means it's a great driving car.
Yep. Like Sean mentioned, tail happy. I just ran some laps, a 146. So talk about different ends of the spectrum. From the FS1 car to that, I felt like I was driving in slow motion.
Yeah.
I should have drove the FS1 car or the AE86 car first, and then got in the Formula One car. But,
acclimate yourself.
But yeah, it was a huge difference. But good thing. I mean, probably makes for some great door-to-door racing.
Yeah, definitely. Some scores, overall, got a 17.5 in physics.
Solid force feedback.
Yeah, force feedback was very good here, too. We actually gave it an 8 overall. Damage was really cool, 4 1/4 there. You could knock off some tires, things would catch on fire.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Real fun car to drive. Fun factor, we scored it a 9. So, real good scores there. Did we mention that Gonzo Cool's who made it?
Gonzo Cool's the guy that made it. They got a website and a little long as far as go to simraceway.com. Both one-click installable at Sim Raceway. You can check out the stats as far as Gonzo Cool and all that.
And that gives it an overall score of 88, which puts it 5th on the list.
Talk about the sounds really quick since we got a little bit of time. You must have reset that.
I think it did.
We ran out of time. I was saying, well, this is going long here.
I
Sounds were incredible. Sean pulled up a YouTube video, and the sounds matched almost identical.
Yeah, between the real-life video and the car. And Darren is actually in the other room, and I was switching from game sound to that video and back and forth. And
I wasn't sure.
I wasn't sure, and I was clicking away.
So that's going to do it. Number 12 of top simulation cars of all time.
Taking us through the top 25.
Sponsored by simraceway.com. And so you gave them where that was, where they were on the list, and that's going to do it.
All right.
See you guys later.
All right, viewers, now it's time to take a look at a sim for the PC that Sean and Darren reviewed. It's MX Simulator by Josh Vanderhoof.
He's a one-man show making a motocross dirt sim. Gotta love it.
Gotta love it. And you can go to his website, mxsimulator.com, to take a look at the demo or download the full version for $42. And I believe they have a CD available that you can get at the website as well, right?
Yeah, you're not going to go into a store and buy this one, but go to the website. You can, like you said, you download it. You can order the CD, however you prefer it.
And before we get further into this title, I'm going to go ahead and give all the viewers out there the specs. MX Simulator features a complete motorcycle physics model on 8 different bikes based on real-life dyno, gear ratio, and weight information. Steering, suspension, clutch, transmission, and power curve are all realistically modeled and fully adjustable. Online player functionality with automatic prediction to compensate for lag. Physically modeled engine noise for both 2 and 4 strokes. 12 event points series with novice, amateur, and expert classes. Realistic tracks including Budds Creek and Redbud replicas. It also has a flexible race format. Motos can be time or lap based with up to 40 riders. Requires at least a 1.5 gigahertz CPU with 512 megabytes of RAM and 3D graphics accelerator with OpenGL 1.1 support. Works on either Windows XP or newer and Linux. So there's all the specs out there for you guys, and as I mentioned earlier, Sean and Darren reviewed this title, and since it is a motocross, there's no wheel that you can use with that sim, so show the viewers out there what you guys did use.
Yeah, actually, I guess you could use a wheel and pedals, and I know some people have tried it, but for us, it was all about trying out the Fanatic gamepad with multiple knobs, but wait, there's more! We also tried out the Thrustmaster gamepad.
That one's nice.
So we tried a few different scenarios, but with the axis knobs, it kind of gives you the ability to lean the bike and steer it, and that seemed to be the way to go for us.
All right, well, let's go ahead and show the viewers your review on MX Simulator.
All right, here we are with our review of MX Simulator, or Motocross Simulator, by a guy named Josh Vanderhoof.
And this is another one of those indie games, and I don't mean Indianapolis like Speedway. I mean independent. This is just one man, one team building a
Not
very
even a team, just one guy.
A one-man team.
Yeah, one-man team. There you go.
And he's just building a very true motocross sim.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, you've heard of indie games before, man. This did we even count the tracks?
Gosh, there's
30.
Yeah,
I don't even
easily.
know.
There
are
a page and then a whole other handful.
A lot of the real-life Supercross tracks are modeled. Just regular tracks across the country are modeled. But man, it's deep as far as the tracks go. 8 different bikes.
Yeah.
Like Jessica told you guys leading into this, but it's very, very well done. It is probably the toughest sim I've ever played.
I get no argument from me. It is absolutely, truly difficult, and you're not going to use a steering wheel because, again, we're
Speaking
talking
of which, our
a
controller of
motorcycle.
choice.
Yeah, we're using a controller. Got the cool Thrustmaster one, but again, being able to do the lean with the handling, and it's difficult. And we should get on to the bikes. You were at bikes, though.
Yeah, and actually, now Jessica talked about what it is coming into this. Let's talk about the controls, and I want to mention the community and stuff that's behind this. A lot of guys that I've just from reading in the forums and stuff are motocross, riders.
Yeah.
Guys that I've honestly never really ridden motocross. Street bikes I rode a ton of, but not really a motocross guy. Would love to try one someday. Just never had one. My daughter actually rides motocross, but I can do it on this. I started getting good at it after you figured that we were talking about this steep learning curve.
Yeah, actually,
Sean put a 3-day learning curve on it. I think that's about right.
And I'm gonna be honest. We actually filmed this whole segment yesterday, and getting a whole other day between, I learned so much. And it was that third day where finally on simulation mode, I was starting to get the feel of it. I mean, from the very beginning, it got under my skin because you could feel like it's possible, it's doable, it's just so hard.
Yeah.
But it was that third day that it's really
well, you'd have like, couple little shining moments, man. You'd like take a double and like actually land it and then go into the next corner and just flop it. But, I actually started stringing some laps together.
You were kicking ass.
Well, we want to talk about some of the things as far as the learning curve. I recommend starting in arcade mode, not sim. Arcade mode, you can't fall. You just can ride the heck out of the bike.
Yeah.
But ride it like you're in sim mode. Take it easy. Don't go blasting through the corners.
Well, and you've got that little meter showing you your lean and how much,
Use it to start.
probability of falling over, and drive within that limit as though you were in the simulation mode.
Yep. Go to the community, go into their forums, and check the different ways to set up controls, to set up the bike, and use it. Because I tried a bunch of different ways before I finally got comfortable with one. And, once you really get the hang of it, it's really rewarding.
Yeah.
Especially if you're into motocross. I love, going over jumps and, love watching, Supercross when it's on.
The jumps are so hard.
Yeah. Some of these tracks, though, too. I'm going to recommend Rabbit Hill is a great starter. It's the one that boots in the game. There's only one jump, really, that you got to take there. Everything else is just kind of just flowing, getting through the corners.
And you can learn to carry a little more speed through the corners on a track like that. The other thing I want to throw in real quick is, like real sim racing, you need to learn the track. If you don't know the track and know how tight the corner is exactly, not just visually, but how it handles and where the doubles are or what jump you can go flying off of versus not go flying off of. You need to have track awareness before you go on.
Absolutely. And just start with one track. Even though there's so many tracks. Oh, by the way, demo or full version you can get. We've got the full version. I'd like to thank Josh Vanderhoof, the developer, for hooking us up with some codes.
The one-man team.
One-man team, yeah. He hooked us up. And, he's really got a whole team, a whole community that's helping him out with this thing. There's actually some sites that are devoted. Go to his links page, and there's like 5 or 6 different, separate communities that are doing, we didn't talk about skins. There's skins you can get, different wheels, different, sticker kits on the bikes that people have done, helmets, so lots of community involvement. And, as far as figuring out how to use this thing without that community involvement, how to use this sim, it's really tough because there's no instructions. You really got to go into the forum to learn a lot about it, like setting up a server and stuff like that.
So, and the setup options might be different than you're accustomed to, so you're going to learn that from the community as well.
Yep. So that's pretty much going to wrap it up. A couple other things just going out here. we only could get 5 axes to work on this controller. It's capable of 7, but for some reason...
Sim didn't like it.
Yep. He's continually updating it. He's on version 1.3 right now. It's going for $42. Go to mxsimulator.com.
And I got to point out, some of the graphics look dated or a little simplified. I mean, in crashes, your rider doesn't fall off the bike. So some of that is actually comical. When you're stuck in the woods, maybe the graphics don't look that great. When you're on the driving line and going fast, it starts to really take a better look about it. But again, this is going to take some more evolution from the one-man team.
Yeah, and the AI, I want to mention, is great at some tracks, non-existent. Sometimes the riders don't even leave the game.
Yeah, or they go to turn 1 and take a coffee break.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, smoke breaks, what you were saying they were taking.
PC.
Couple more tips. You can ride in the first-person view or third-person. If you hit the tab key, it'll go to third-person view. Keep up the momentum on the bike. Don't come to a stop because then you'll just fall. But just kind of keep flowing through the corners. Patience.
Yeah, give it 3 days at least.
Yeah, and there's some servers running online. You can check out some multiplayer stuff going on by going to the servers page on his website as well. And there's a few different servers running, or just go into multiplayer right inside the sim, and you can check it out there. That's going to do it. Anything else going out?
I think we covered it, but it's hard. It's hard. It's fun.
Didn't put it through our weighted rating scale. This is a guy's a one-man team. There's no force feedback. Still in early development stages.
Yeah.
Lots to go on this. I mean, actually, he's been doing it for a while, but still lots to go.
Yeah.
Check out some of the videos that are on YouTube. Just type in MX Simulator. Some cool videos of races. Oh, they also have a Supercross series that they got going right now if you go to their site. So check it out. It's definitely, I definitely thumbs up, recommend it.
Try the demo. It'll get under your skin. You'll need to get better at it, and then you'll probably see that some of the tracks out there are so fun that you'll want to play it nonstop.
Butt kicker factor. Hooked up a butt kicker, was running with that, and it got some rumble. Not the greatest sounds, but they were there. That's going to do it. mxsimulator.com. Again, thanks, Josh Vanderhoof. And, hey, man, keep up the good work, man. You're doing a great job.
Yeah, it's hard.
Next up, we're adding another wheel to our weighted rating scale system. The Logitech Momo force feedback racing wheel.
That's right.
Which came out in October of 2002, so it's kind of a throwback. Retro throwback.
That's right. Old school wheel. I mean, you can still buy the wheel brand new.
It retails for just under $100. Maybe a little bit less on eBay. You can find it there as well.
Some steals out there on this one. But yeah, brand new, still available. And
it's 10 inches in diameter here, and it has 6 easy-to-use buttons right in the center of the wheel.
It's funny. They marketed it and they tell you 10 buttons, but they're including the shifters.
2 shift paddles on the side.
And this shifter. So they kind of cheat that. But 6 very usable buttons. And this was actually my first force feedback wheel.
And we've gotten a lot of requests by viewers to rate this wheel. So now it's time to put it through our scale, and here you guys go.
So here we are for the Logitech Black Momo wheel review. And this is based on just endless amounts of requests in our forum and email.
More requests than anything else we've ever had on the show. And actually that and the 360 wheel. And I want to say going into this, because we got not a lot of complaints, but a lot of why are you reviewing this? Because we were asked to.
Yeah, by a lot of people.
Honestly, we didn't really want to review this, but we didn't even have one of these. And I'd like to thank my buddy Andrew Myers. I've known him since high school. He had one of these, and we traded him this for a Beta Fanatic wheel that was brand new, actually.
Yeah.
So hooked him up with that and got this in exchange.
Yeah. I also, there is a little confusion when you talk Logitech Momo, because half the world is divided and thinks of the red Momo, which is one of my all-time favorite wheels, and I need to drive one now to see if I still think that way.
See if it's still your all-time favorite. Yeah, I have a feeling it might not be.
And then there's the black Momo, which is still available from Logitech.
Yep. Why don't we just go right into this thing? Because we're not going to give it as much time as we have other wheels, because it is an older, we're calling this a retro view. But
Jessica mentioned it came out in 2002. This is a dinosaur by Wheel
almost 10 years old, or 8 years old now. So it is a dinosaur.
So let's get going. Like you said, force feedback is one of the most important things. For me, this wheel, the force feedback just doesn't give me that sensation of lightening the rear end when I'm loose, or real traction on the front end when I'm getting it.
It doesn't, and I have a feeling it has to do with you guys can hear that. This thing has major dampening.
You get a workout there.
Yeah, you can, and it's only got 270 degrees of rotation, so it's also lacking there. So, yeah, the force feedback effects are not as prominently felt as, say, the other wheels. Speaking of which, I have...
And we did try it on a few different sims, mainly dirt, because for force feedback, that's a great sim to really test things out.
Yeah,
Using the standard Logitech drivers, same drivers you use for this wheel.
And I wanted to show you the difference. This is what I think is its replacement. The DFGT, one of its replacements, the DFP was before this, but I mean, first of all, this wheel, just without it being plugged in, moves a lot freer, and it's got the 900 degrees of rotation also.
Yep. And there is a mod for that one, I think we found, to make it 900.
Wheel? Yeah, actually, if you go to our forum at InsideSimRacing.tv, we have a post. Somebody posted, it was a coincidence, believe it or not. He modded it to make it go, looks like about 360, so the wheel actually almost turns another half rotation, but a lot of work.
A lot of work for that wheel.
No offense to you out there. If you guys like this wheel, no offense to any of you guys out there. I personally do not like this wheel.
I'm with you.
There are a few redeeming qualities.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to just talk about the pros really quick before I start bashing it.
All right.
The interchangeable shifter.
That is very cool. That might be the coolest thing about the wheel, and something I wonder why they didn't continue with their later line.
DFGT, the one I just had up, doesn't have that. I like the paddle placement, pretty cool.
Yeah.
On the con end of the paddles, though, they feel like they're going to break.
They're pretty plasticky.
Yeah, what do we give paddles as far as the
paddles?
the
we actually gave it 7.5 for you, 8.5 for me. So
not bad. For placement, I would think more than anything.
Yeah. Well, it's nice that there actually are paddles, and then, like you said, they're in a good placement.
Button placement was good on it.
Yeah, and you got those 6 buttons, so that's a lot of buttons and well placed, so very usable while driving.
Yep.
In buttons, we gave it a 8 for you, 8.5 for me, so that was really good. The grip I love. It's real grippy, but it's such a 10-inch little toy wheel.
Tiny wheel, yeah. 10 inches is too small for me. I like a little bit wider wheel. 11-inch is what the DFGT, I think the GT3 RS is a 12-inch wheel. So
yeah.
For me, I like a bigger wheel.
Grab those pedals while you're down there.
Yeah, pedals are next.
They're a little wider, but this is the same pedals on the DFGT, the DFP, the black Momo.
No difference, just a wider base I noticed between this and the DFGT. We actually did our testing with the DFGT pedals, but then we wanted to show you that just this base is just a little bit wider.
Standard carpet grippers, but ultimately the brake and the gas.
Carpet gripper back here.
There's just such little sensation or feeling in the gas and brake pedal. They just sort of move freely, a little bit of spring tension, but just really, you're going to learn by motor memory how much to apply. There's nothing else working with you there.
Yeah, same progression, or lack of progression that the DFGT pedals have. So.
Anyway, I got an average 9.25 out of 15 in pedals. Definitely not the upside of the wheel. I mean, definitely usable. And like all the other Logitech products, I mean, the mounting, the installation, the compatibility, the plug and play, this is all pretty brainless and easy to do, and some of the best when it comes to that.
Yeah, it was definitely plug and play, very plug and playable. PS3, PC compatible. And then I want to talk about some of the cons. We're going to mention the cons. Well, one of the pros I wanted to mention was the price. Good price, cheap, but it's the same price as the DFGT, so that's one of the cons. I would go with the DFGT over this.
Absolutely.
One of the other cons is 270 degrees of rotation.
That hurts.
Too much dampening, default dampening. If this thing didn't have any dampening, it would probably be a much better wheel.
I agree.
I think there'd be a lot more feel. Speaking of which, we ran it with Dirt 2. And we're almost out of time here.
Yeah, that's our buzzer.
Yeah, that's our little buzzer. 10-inch wheel, so it's a little small, and the weak pedals, I was kind of worried that those might break.
Yeah, I agree with you on all those.
And then I'd say the pedals. The pedals are
bare bone minimum.
Subpar. Yeah, those are subpar pedals.
So there you have it. By demand, the black Logitech Momo wheel. You know, it's a dinosaur. It is what it is.
It is what it is, yeah. And hope you enjoyed a review on it, and... sorry to you guys that didn't like it. 72.5 was our
overall 72.5 average score. Very average score.
So that's in the whole package. We scored pedals and everything just like we did with the 360 wheel. So that's going to do it.
So now we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to get out of here, clean up the set, and Jessica's going to be back looking nice.
Looking amazing. Yeah, you guys are going to be pretty stoked.
Mod of the Year Awards up
Mod
next.
of the Year 2009.
Accelerator wheel stands available now for your Microsoft 360 or Logitech wheels.
Fanatic 911 compatibility coming soon. Get the big boy for $109.99 or the standard for $99.99 now at xwstands.com. Wheel adapters may be additional. Prices do not include shipping and handling. And now, brought to you by Sim Raceway, the 2009 Mod of the Year Awards with your host, Jessica Lopez.
Welcome to the third annual Mod of the Year Awards. I'm Jessica Lopez, and I'm excited to be hosting it this year. We have 5 categories total: car, track, skin, screenshot, and video of the year. Today we'll be announcing the top 5 in car and track, and the other 3 categories have been given an extended date time for those of you out there who'd still like to vote. As you know, all of the votes have been counted and rallied up for the track and car categories. I'm going to be announcing the top 5 in each one of those categories, and the top 3 out of the 5 will receive this wonderful trophy, handmade trophy here. Very nice piece of art for all of your artistic work out there. Starting with the track category and coming in 5th place with 4.02% of the votes, we got Hill Climb Track Pack 2009 by RPMT.
Hill Climb Track Pack by Red Passion Modding Team includes 9 hill climbs that are fictional but based and inspired by real tracks.
Coming in 4th place with 4.02% of the vote as well, we got the Abu Dhabi F1 Circuit by NAD.
Abu Dhabi F1 Circuit, created by NAD and the F1 Pro League, is located in the United Arab Emirates and recreates the Yas Marina circuit that is home to the final F1 race of the season.
And our second runner-up in the track category, who will win one of these lovely trophies, is Detroit 1988 1.0 by Carrera 4, coming in with 7.14% of the vote.
Detroit 88. Carrera Point 4 has created the street circuit that was driven in the 1988 Detroit Formula One Grand Prix. Initially released in January of 2009 on R Factor Central, it has received 1,337 votes and maintains a score of 488 of 500.
First runner-up in the track category is Canberra 400 by Radar, coming in with 11.42% of the votes.
The Canberra 400 had a short life, running from 2000 to 2002. The inaugural race, titled the GMC 400, was in 2000 as part of the V8 Supercars calendar. Created by Raider, who actually worked at the track during its brief existence, he used his own collection of videos, photos, programs, and DVDs to replicate the track to the best of his ability. 2 years in the making, and he's done an incredible job. He credits Bob's Track Builder for helping create his masterpiece.
Alright guys, it's time to announce the number 1 mod in 2009 for the track category, and it is Oran Park Ladar 1.1 by Brandon Elliott, Chris Lamar, and Brendan Pywell. Congratulations guys for winning the number 1 track in 2009.
Oran Park Ladar. Oran Park is one of the few laser scan tracks for R Factor. The track is located southwest of Sydney, Australia, and has been home to the Australian touring car round since 1971. The track is scheduled to be closed for redevelopment in the future. Realizing that time was slipping away, Chris Lamore and Brendan Elliott took on the challenge of surveying and collecting as much data about the track as possible for a thesis project. Brendan Pywell, creator of Bob's Track Builder, used his custom software in order to optimize and manipulate the data and create an accurate yet efficient terrain from the collected survey. Additionally, Bob's Track Builder was used to create the walls, track details, and many of the trackside objects. Chris and Brendan created the on-site buildings from surveyed data, and the work was combined to create the finished product.
Moving forward, now it's time to announce the Car of the Year category. Coming in 5th place, we got VHR Stock Car 2010 edition by VHR Stock Car Sim Racing Series, and they came in with 6.09% of the vote.
VH Racing puts many different stock car series into one package, using conversions of many popular mods and putting them all into one. Project director is Corvette Dave.
Coming in 4th place with 8.13% of the votes is the F1 1999 WCP by F1 WCP.
F1 1991 by F1 WCP recreates the 1999 Formula One Championship season. This mod includes F1 Challenge models by EA Sports with updated physics, skins, as well as many other modifications. Project director was Tom Speed.
Second runner-up in the Car of the Year category is the Touring Car Legends 1.1 by Touring Car Legends, coming in with 13% of the vote.
Touring Car Legends. Initially released in March of 2009, the Touring Car Legends, by the team with the same name, recreates some 1980s touring cars, Beamers, Volvos, and Fords to name a few. Credit goes to the following modders for this package: Skinning and Textures, Marcel, Wilson, Martin, Rick Piper, Rich Ward, Os Gollum, Prozac 32. Physics modeling by Peter Raymond, vehicle modeling by Martin, Ollie C, and Alex V.
The first runner-up in the car category is the AE86 Club 1.0 by Gonzo Cool, coming in with 14.22% of the votes.
AE86 Club. With an initial release date of September 18, 2009, the AE86 Club Toyota Corolla 11 N2 spec makes for some great online racing. It's a small, lightweight coupe introduced by Toyota in 1983 as part of the 5th generation Corolla lineup. Its rear-wheel drive, lightweight platform makes for a good race and drift car. Model by Gonzo Cool. Textures and skins by Jill Noy. Skins by Nanamiso and Kita. Physics, Spiker and Bell. And sounds by C3-R2.
And your 2009 Mod of the Year for the car category is, drum roll please, the FS1 2008 by International Pro Modders, coming in with 37.8% of the votes.
FS1 2008. The #1 downloaded mod at Sim Raceway with more than 500 fans. Created by International Pro Modding, FS1 2008 includes all the cars, helmets, cockpits, drivers, testers, and pit crews for the 2008 Formula One season. If you want to drive for Ferrari or McLaren or any other team from the 2008 season, you should do it with this mod. IPM has taken their experience from the 2006 and 7 mods and really perfected this version. FS1 2008 goes a step further from the 2007 version with highly detailed cars, textures, and helmets. New suspension, physics, engines, and gearboxes round out the heart of this mod. International Pro Modding has also converted the UI and garage to have a new look and feel, which makes this a must-have for any R-Factor library.
That's going to end today's episode of Inside Sim Racing. Make sure you stay tuned for a later date as we will mention the other winners in the other categories, Screenshot, Paint, and Video of the Year. For the winners in today's categories, Car and Track, congratulations to all you guys out there, all 10 of you. You're all winners in our eyes. Thank you for contributing to the Sim community. Without your work, the Sim community would not be the same. And for the lucky 6 who get to take home this trophy engraved with your name, congratulations to you. Checker flag is out, and so am I.